I am Danyelle Grant, and I got next.
You next up and you ain't been on Sports Like Talk. Like, what are you doing? Hey, you better hit them up. Look, you breaking next and you up next. Kings and queens go hard. Rise and star on the big scene. Make them know who you are. You don't break a sweat. Don't settle for less. They put you through that test. Your resume that flex. Who got next? Who got next? SLT, ready, set, go. Who got next? Who got next? Living my dreams and all your goals. Who got next? Who got next? You can ask B. Jones or head coach. Who got next? Who got next? You next up, so here's my vote.
What it do, SLT Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Sport Life Talks. You got next, a series where we have dedicated our platform to telling the story of amazing human beings doing phenomenal things and accomplishing big dreams. And we have another great story. We go back into the coaching arena and we got Pasadena hoops living legend Danyelle Grant, assistant coach at USC. What is it? Trojans fight on Trojans. Fight on. We are going to fight on all day long. And we're going to have a good show for you guys here today. Before I get started, I would like to introduce myself. I am your host, the mouth of the South, B. Jones. I'm rocking alongside of my co-host, the head coach, KT. Well, I think we're going to call you the assistant coach this episode, Kev.
You know what? I'll take that, man, because, you know, USC, that's pretty big. So, yeah, I'll be the assistant coach on this.
All right. Well, you are the assistant coach today. And before we get started, we need to ask a small favor of you guys. Kevin and I are trying to grow the show to 1,000 subscribers. Your support can go a long way, whether you came here to hear Danyelle Grant's amazing story, which I promise you guys, it is going to make you smile from ear to ear here in the next few minutes, or whether you just want to check out and see what these guys that You Got Next was talking about. All we ask is for a small little favor. It won't cost you a penny. On the count of 3, we need us all to join hands in unison, in family, and smash that subscribe button. Are y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom. We got Southern LA lighting up right now, Kev. The boards all over the place. We got Utah showing up. They all over the place showing us some love. If you did smash that subscribe button, you just got a first class ticket to all kind of free content. We got amazing stories like the one we have here today. But you didn't come here to hear the mouth of the South run his mouth. You came here to learn about Coach Grant. Coach Grant, how you doing?
I'm doing good, y'all. I'm doing good. Appreciate y'all having me on, reaching out.
Hey, you are doing amazing. You are doing amazing. You are truly, like, literally, I was trying to call Nicholas Sparks up before the show. I was like, I got a person you need to write a book about because she is living the absolute American dream. All right, Coach, before we start talking about your playing days, some of your relationships out there in the world with former players and former coaches and stuff like that, we have to take you through the Sports Life Talk initiation. It is just what we do and how we do it. You a hooper. You a gamer. I know you came ready. Kev, let's go.
All right, Coach, to initiate you into the SLT family, you got to give us your top 5 hip-hop artists.
All right, top 5. You know, the list ain't complete without Pac. West Coast. Jay-Z. Gotta rock with Jay-Z. You know what? I picked up Lil Wayne a lot when I was in college. I gotta put Lil Wayne on the list.
That Louisiana boy.
Yeah, for sure. Kendrick Lamar. And 𝐥𝐤𝐬.
I absolutely love your top 5, Coach.
Yeah.
I rock with all of them.
All right, Coach. So give us some of your favorite sports teams.
You know what? I always have my favorite team being the team that I'm coaching. So USC, shout out to USC and our team out there because, you know, I'm with them all the time, every day. That's my extended family. So I got to rock with them. But being an LA girl, being a California girl, you know, I'm a Laker fan. I'm a Laker fan through and through. So whether it was when I was younger, we used to go to the Great Western Forum, and I used to love the atmosphere there. And then not only was it just for the Laker games, but high school games were played there. So, you know, I got to rock with the Lakers.
All right. So who is your favorite superhero and why?
All right. So I think the typical answer most of the time is probably Wonder Woman. But I'm gonna go with the Holly Berry version of Storm from the
That's
X-Men.
hot right now. That one is catchy.
Yeah, it is.
And I got to go with her because her outfit is fire. It's off the chain, and then just the power she possesses with being able to control the weather. That's a big thing because I think the weather controls a lot of people's moods too. So I'm all about consistency. And, California 75 and sunny all the time, even though Storm was a total opposite of that. But you get where I'm going.
That was probably the best, the best explanation of why you were Storm of all time. That was great. And Halle Berry.
But Kevin, at the same time, making me extraordinarily jealous, right? The humble brag, 75 is sunny all the time. That's how we got it. We paradise. It's tropical. Yeah. We chill. What y'all doing?
Italy.
Yeah, it was 82 this morning at like 9:30, and now it's 91. So
man, I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, so Storm. Every good superhero needs their own theme song. So what would your theme music be?
You know what? I don't know if it matches, but 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐤, Closer to My Dreams.
Okay.
Y'all know that one?
Yeah, I know 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐤. You know that?
It's more of a vibe song. But
yeah, it's kind of mellow. She's light skinned. She's skinny. She's neo soul. She's neo soul.
Very neo soul. Yeah.
Kevin, I'm impressed, man. It's not too many superhero / music genres that get by you, man. I'm lost on that one. I'm out here. I'm out here bad on that one.
B. Jones, and that's why I am the head coach of the show, and you're the mouth of the South.
You the assistant coach.
No, I'm talking about normally. Today, yeah, I'm the assistant coach. Yeah.
Now, Coach Grant, I told Kevin I wasn't going to do this, but I got to. Since you now you indoctrinated into the family. Now, I saw some of your hooping, and can you still get buckets? Because Kevin Sweat, like us backstage, I kid you not, less than 20 minutes ago, B. Jones, I'm going to prove to you how good I can hoop. I could go, man. I could go. I got a shot. I need to know, can you get buckets right now, Coach Grant?
I can still get a bucket or two.
Can you give those buckets to Kevin? Can you heat him up?
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing, Coach. I got about 40 games I got to play.
Well, you better start working out, sir.
I don't have enough time to work out to play against all of them. I'm about to get hurt.
This experience is where the confidence comes from.
There it is. I can. Hey, you know what? I was told back when I was in high school, if the female put her hand in that ponytail, she can get buckets. Hey, we looking at you right now. Hey, you got that slick down. Hey, you ready to work? You ready to work right now, Coach? You could probably put on some Nikes and go to 12 right now, huh?
You know what? I'd be 100% if I had my headband back from back then. But I retired the headband.
All right. Well, welcome to the Sports Life Talk family, Coach. I just y'all can see the accolades. Utah State alum, school's first all conference, a team honoree, first Utah assistant. I mean, a former Utah assistant. You're doing a lot of great things. But what really caught my attention, and we're gonna talk about your story here in just a second, was the last year. Like, COVID has been something crazy for a lot of people, but your COVID story almost, I shouldn't even say almost, it inspired me. It inspired me. What you have endured over the last year to 18 months has just been phenomenal. But let's talk a little bit about being a Pasadena hoop star. Tell us a little bit about what it was like growing up in Pasadena.
You know what? And it's funny because it kind of fits what's going on in this day and age with like the college kid, the college player. But before we moved to Pasadena, I went to 2 different high schools prior to that. So my journey to Pasadena just was, growing up, rent goes up, we had to move. So it was no questions asked. And before that, so we ended up here because we had family here, friends that were here. So it was good to move here. And I got to play college ball with my best friend. High school ball, with my best friend. But that's kind of the journey to Pasadena. And since then it's been home. But we went to John Muir High School. Our rival was Pasadena High School. And those games were always standing room only, if that. So underneath the basket, you do a layup, you might turn an ankle because people are standing underneath the rim. But the atmosphere was live. The competition was great. And it's Pasadena, everybody family here. So you could walk down the street and the lady at the corner store, everybody hung out at the McDonald's that was up the street from the school. People's grandparents, they get their morning coffee. They out there reading the newspaper. So if you was acting up, your mom and them knew about it because they're going to get a phone call. But it was great. We used to rock straight white tees, pro clubs for shooting shirts, nothing on the front, nothing on the back. We thought it was cool at the time.
It was?
Yeah, I guess so. Pro clubs was the thing out here. Don't let nobody pull your tag off. That was is it go from a pro club to a no club real fast. But.
Hey, that easy, huh? All right. So when did how did they lure you to leave the community of Pasadena in Southern California where it's 75 and sunny all the time? How did they lure you to go to Utah State? That's a big change. I know it's not a super long way, but we're talking two worlds right there. Yeah,
I know. I get that question at least probably once a week, honestly, just being out and about. But you know what? Going to 3 different high schools, it really was hard for coaches to keep up. Where is this player at? We didn't have the social media content and all that information available at your fingertips when I was growing up. So from there, we had actual VHS tapes that you was trying to send to coaches instead of just a quick email.
Yeah.
So they got a hold of my tape. Was actually watching another player and seeing me, which was cool. And at the time, Utah State had a really good friend of mine. She was older than me in our program, in our AAU travel program. So her dad, talked to my stepdad, and they just kind of chopped it up. And then next thing I know, I'm on the phone with the coaches.
Wow.
And I knew, I'm a loyal person. That's just part of my DNA. It's who I am. So they reached out. I talked to them. And honestly, the whole process is a little, I don't remember it all the way. But I knew that the program had just came back. It was on a hiatus for a long time. Women's basketball did not exist at the university. And they were in their second or third year, I think, coming back. So their very first year off a hiatus, they didn't play any games. All they did was recruit. And they had to buy basketballs. They had to buy everything. By the time I would have been a freshman, we were entering what was at the time the WAC, the Western Athletic Conference. And it just, there was just different teams from all over the place. So I found myself trying to really understand what I wanted out of my career. I had an opportunity to go somewhere and make a name for myself and make a name for a program. And that right there alone was the biggest thing that I knew for me that I wanted. And there was always going to be somebody that was like, Utah, why Utah? That same question over and over again. It was a great opportunity. And I really think you got to be a little different. And I always felt like I was pretty mature for my age, but I knew, like I said, I knew what I wanted to do with my career. And at the time, that was a great choice for me. And I took it and I rocked with it. So I signed early and I spent the rest of the year just working on my game.
And you became the school's first all-conference first-team player. So, and just, going through your archives, it seems like you are so big into keeping up with those relationships of your former teammates, man. So what was that like being in the, one of the best players in the conference and having all these friends and these girlfriends and y'all just having a blast? Tell us about that experience on the hardwood and in the locker rooms.
You know what? It's great. I actually was on a FaceTime call this morning with one of my old teammates that I actually got to coach, which is crazy. It was good, but to be honest, it was hard. That first year, we were not very good. We were 3-28. I'll never forget those numbers. I know. You ain't got to do it that hard, bro.
I mean, but that's tough. I'm trying to bet. That's 31 games, coach.
I know. I was there at all 31.
Man,
it was tough, but you know what? That whole experience just continued to mold me to who I am right now. So, all those losses and those 3 wins, that team, we were just really tight. And then for us, to grow as young women going into the summer, we started to realize, okay, what do we need to do to be better? Right. And I walked into our head coach's office, and I said, what do you need from me? I'll tell you what I need from you. What do you need from me? So that really, I think, was a turning point in me becoming a coach and understanding this is a good path for me. So,
Coach, you can't be stealing the script. You can't be stealing the script.
My bad,
No, I'm just messing with you. Now I was gonna ask you. So you hooping, you getting all these accolades, and that was the turning point. You've already told them how you became a coach. So who gave you your first shot being a coach?
My actual head coach, Reagan Peebly. She gave me my first shot. Yeah, at the time, I played overseas in Finland 1 year, and I came back. And to come back to California, it was like, what am I gonna do? I couldn't really go. My mom had moved up north, so she wasn't in Southern California anymore. But I knew, like, maybe I wanted to continue hooping. Where can I go, stay in shape, and XYZ. So she always had an open door. Her house was my home. So I went back to Logan, Utah, and I was working out, using the gym for free, everything, the hooper's dream. And they had a position open on the staff. And at the time, coaches could not work with players in the summer. You can only do like strength and conditioning. So coaches had no say over like making them do open gym and all that. So I was actually running it. I was the bridge between them.
Wow.
So I was working the girls out. I was setting up, open gym, doing all that. And at the same time, I was being a mock recruit for them to kind of hire their new position. So they were, doing phone calls. They put me through a workout and all that stuff. So then they hired one. After that, they had another position open, and that's when my head coach came to me and said, "Hey, I want to, consider you for this position, but I got to know, would you be willing to stop playing?" And I really had to think about it, because I was living the life, 1 year in. But at the same time, the biggest thing for me, not only is just my loyalty, but consistency. And I wanted to know that I was going to be able to start a career. And I did. So I had to interview like everybody else. And I did the whole thing. I was nervous as heck, even though I'm around these people all the time. I'm sitting with our AD. I sat in his office, numerous times as a student athlete. But now here I am. I want a job. So palms are sweaty and everything. But I guess I crushed it. And after my interview, I'm all dressed up. And I walked down the hill to my homegirl's house who was on the team. And they said, "Why you all dressed up?" I said, "I just interviewed for a job." And they were like, "What?" And they were like, "Oh, we got an assistant coaching spot open. That's what you interviewed for?" I said, "Yeah." They were so hyped. They were so hyped.
I can only imagine.
They were on cloud 10. But then it all came crashing down when they said, "We can't hang out with you no more."
Nope.
And I said, "Nope. Not if I get this, nope." So it was a great opportunity. She gave me my first job, and it was one of those situations where it was just us 4 coaches and 1 manager. We didn't have any kind of extra staff. So not only was I jumping right into assistant coaching spot, but I got all the experience of just doing everything.
How tall are you, Coach?
I'm 5'6", I'm 5'8".
Okay.
Heels.
What position did you play when you were rolling, when you were rocking?
Point guard.
Okay, all right. So you was a nice size point then.
That's what they're small right now.
Well, now it is, but back then, a little while ago, it wasn't that bad. We've had some smaller point guards that came on the show. So let's talk about this miracle last year, the last year that Hollywood couldn't have written. So you come off the loss of 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐬, which if people not watching, 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐬 was your dog, which it sounded like you got her from a shelter. Or
it was a boy, so I rescued him.
A guy, yeah.
In Fresno, rescued him, and he had been
rescued.
Yep.
So, but then after that, you get married. You get a new house. You get a new job. You get a new member of the family just a few months ago. We got a baby, and then you got a new puppy, Denver. And like right when COVID started, kind of middle of 2000, was that 2000? Yeah, it was about probably middle of 2020.
So he actually started got engaged.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I followed this story, and I'll be honest with you, I was like reading the book. I was like, what happens next? So you got engaged, then you got Denver.
Yep. Then
y'all got the new house.
No, we got the house, then we had the wedding. Yeah.
Wow, this story was just incredible. So tell us how all this come together. I mean, like your COVID year is one for the ages.
Yeah, no, shout out to my husband, Nick Grant at Rice. He started this whole, whirlwind with the surprise engagement on Christmas Eve. And, that whole day, everybody was lying to each other. We had an appointment for him set up for a suit fitting, and little did I know that he had all of this planned for me, to pop the question. So in December, we got engaged, and we realized, we were doing distance. What else are we waiting for? So we said, okay, 6 months from now is when we want to get married. So we found a date, and then we just start, rolling, trying to figure stuff out. So after the Pac-12 tournament, COVID was really on the rise, and it shut us down immediately. Thank goodness for us, season was over. So I was in Salt Lake City and he was in San Diego, and we're constantly communicating and talking. And next thing I know, I was talking to him on the phone that morning, and then I went and ran some errands. And when I came back, I heard a knock at the door. And I'm like, I'm not expecting any visitors or whatever. So I looked through the peephole, and somebody's like covering the peephole with their finger. I'm like, I'm not for these games. Like, COVID is going on right now. I'm not opening my door. I'm not going anywhere. So I think somebody's playing games. So naturally, I call my husband. Like, hey, there's somebody knocking on the door. I don't know what's going on. I'm in an apartment building too.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, just don't answer it. Leave it alone, whatever. So I said, okay, I hang up. And then I heard another knock, and I opened the door, and it's him. So he surprised me, flew out, standing in the hallway playing these games. But then we actually ended up getting so much more time because everything has shut down than we had expected before the wedding. So now we're planning things together, spending that quality time, still working, still recruiting, still trying to figure out how to maneuver within this pandemic. But again, we're together. So we were not expecting this time, which was great. Fast forward, I think we were playing dominoes at the time. And I had been constantly looking at dogs because I just felt like, man, I'm ready for a dog again. And in the middle of a game, I found him. I found Denver. And I was like, this is him, So he looks at me, he says, so what you're telling me is tomorrow morning we're going to get a dog. And I said, yeah, we are. So that's kind of how Denver came about. And then as we get closer and closer to the wedding day, it really started to dawn on us because I had planned a wedding for 150 people in Northern California. And everybody starts asking, is it still going to happen? It's still going to happen. And we thought, it was, until you come to that realization, like, it's not. It's not. There's too many factors at play, and we're asking these people to, risk their lives, their health, us too. So we went from 150 people to 9. And I figured out a way to continue to have our wedding. We wanted to keep the date the same, and we wanted to just get married and kind of be done in a sense so that we can move on.
But you know what was pretty cool? The blanket. I don't know who idea it was to come up with the blanket or the sheet, but y'all honored every one of your friends and family members that couldn't be there or that was there with the big blanket and had all of their pictures on it. That was dope.
Yeah. No, I had seen it. When you start planning for a wedding, you're constantly on the phone 2-3 o'clock in the morning on Etsy, whatever, looking at stuff. And I went to Walgreens and I printed out all those photos, and it had family, it had friends, it had each one of our players from our current teams.
Wow.
Anybody that we were going to invite to the wedding had their face on there. So it was just a thank you because there was going to be so many people there to support us.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you live an American dream. Denver's a star. What is a brindle boxer?
A boxer, half boxer, half lab.
Boxer door. I love it. Denver's the star of the show. All right, KT, I'm gonna let it. I got all these women out here cooing and crooning, and everybody just crying right now, excited for this story.
And then you took some of my questions away. So I mean, this is just great, man. But it was a perfect whatever. All right, Coach. So what is something that basketball has taught you that you can use off the court?
It's really taught me control what you can control. Because at the end of the day, you got to be happy with your decisions that you make, and then surround yourself with good people. Period. On this side of the bench, as a coach, especially where I am right now in my career, I have to be around really good people and consistent people. Because if I'm not, then I can't give everything that I have to what I'm doing.
All right, Coach. So I'm looking for a school to send my daughter to. She's a 5'11" stud. She could probably be the next Candace Parker. All right.
All right.
Why should I send her to USC to continue her dream of making it to the WNBA?
Well, first and foremost, USC has a great tradition of women's basketball. But not only just basketball, academically, she's going to get a great education, private school education at that. So for her to be able to achieve all that she wants to do on the court with us, a brand new staff, we're trying to build. And she has an opportunity to now create her own legacy. And with that, you know, she's going to have growing pains just like we are as a team, but she's going to grow through those and become an even better woman. And for me, and what I love to bring to the staff is just she's going to have a mentor and somebody that's going to help her through those tough times, but also push her when she needs to. Same goes for our head coach and our staff. And at the end of the day, that USC stamp holds a lot of weight in the WNBA.
Yes, it does.
All right, Coach. I should have said Cheryl Miller instead of Candace Parker on that. Well, that would have been perfect for USC.
You know what? I ran out of time, Kev. I was going to ask her about growing up with Cheryl Miller being in that area, like doing what she was doing. Yeah. I was going to ask you that, so I was going to save it for a little bit later. But please do ask about Cheryl Miller, man.
Well, no. We're going to move on, B. Jones, because we're 26 minutes into this thing, and it's time for championship rounds.
All right, that's it. We're not going to talk about Monica Wright and Quincy McCall.
She already talked about her husband. That's why I was like,
that's. Hey, but this is truly the Monica Wright, Quincy McCall.
Okay. So we're going to rewind this then, Coach, since I got to ask this question, even though you already told us about everything. All right, you've seen the movie Love and Basketball, correct?
Correct.
So let's just say that you're Monica Wright. Can you tell us about your Quincy McCall?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. My Quincy McCall, Nick Grant, it all started with sharing a scouting report of a former team that I was coaching at. And that really just kind of opened the door just for a conversation between he and I. Fast forward to a Final Four. We end up in the same hotel and we crossed paths. I was heading back to my room to grab something that I had left, and I was going to dinner with a friend of mine. And we spent time, ended up continuing to see each other throughout the time, and that really kind of sparked something. And started talking, hanging out, what have you, and then we head into July recruiting, and that was it for the first year. And we didn't tell anybody. We just kind of did our own thing. It wasn't a secret. It just was private. Tried to figure it out through that first year. It just got tough. Nobody did anything wrong. It just was really, really hard, and we didn't understand what it took to have a long distance relationship. So we took a break. About a year goes past, and that person that you always had to talk to about everything just wasn't really there. And you just come to a point in your life where you're like, okay, it's worth it to try and figure it out. And here we are, you know, a couple years later, I'm married. So
that's awesome. Now he's a coach. Is he a coach as well?
He is. He coaches
Rice
basketball as well.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
You said at Rice, right?
At Rice, yes.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Coach. Well, we told you it was going to be fun. We told you this was going to be a different experience. This ain't Fox Sports or ESPN. This is You Got Next. And this is the part of the show where Kevin and I, we go tit for tat with each other, and we turn on each other, and we put you as the person calling all the shots here, all right? It is called Championship Rounds. Now, are you familiar with the game Would You Rather?
Yes.
Very simple. All right. So both hosts will present to you an option. You select one of those options, and whichever option you select gives that host a point. The first host that gets 2 points, or the best out of 3, will win this episode's game of Championship Rounds. Okay. For those of you who are keeping up out there, the series has once again been tied up. We are 30-30. So we got Pasadena's very own in the building who is going to break this tie. All right. And Coach, I am the defending champion. So did you have any questions before we get ramped up here?
No, let's get to it.
All right, Coach, would you rather win 4 Pac-12 titles in a row or
make it to the national championship game without knowing if you will win or lose?
Ooh. National championship game.
I should have said 8 Pac-12. What if I said 10 Pac-12 titles?
You know what? The goal is to get to that national championship.
I agree with you. Coach. I'm not going to knock that one at all.
So,
all
B.
right.
Jones, did you say at the very beginning that they're not supposed to change anything, and then you just tried to change it just then?
Well,
so
I always wanted to pick the brain to see if something would have changed.
I totally get that, man. But if they can't change it, then you can't change it.
I didn't change it.
On to round 2, B. Jones.
You got the
round
point.
2.
Let me come back and win this thing right now.
Would you rather coach a player that became a coach but in the NBA, or
coach a player that became a college coach like yourself and wins a ring?
Oh, most definitely coach a player that became a college coach. For sure.
The ring is a thing.
whatever, B.
Dig it, Kevin. All right. Told you we don't play nice, Coach Grant. We don't play nice at this part of the show. All right. Final question. I got the okie doke on this one. All right. So, Coach Grant, would you rather rewind it 10 years and know exactly what you know now, or
fast forward 10 years and be an established head coach?
Let's fast forward 10 years. Yeah.
Okie doke. Okie doke, Coach.
USC stand up.
You know what? I couldn't even. It was. I should have changed it because it was tough for me to even ask you to redo this last year. That was I don't know anybody in time would want to erase what you just went through. I mean,
all of that 10 years past is why I'm where I am right now.
Exactly. I
Well, B. Jones, you should have changed it, but since you didn't, guess who won? The assistant coach for this show, KT.
Trash. All right, Coach Grant, the title of the show is You Got Next. I don't know how you're going to add on to what you've already done, but I know in your head they're swirling around some big dreams. Tell us, what does the future hold for you, Coach Danyelle Grant?
You know what? I've always been somebody that just tries to be where my feet are. And that's how I've gotten to where I am right now, is just trying to be the best at what I'm doing right now, and the rest will follow. So everybody has dreams of being a head coach. One day it'll come. And, I hope you guys are still watching, still rocking when that day comes and I hop back on again.
Hey, you already know that's going to happen. Hey, me and Kat, we locked in.
Yeah,
I'm tired of this dude, this joker for life. I'm stuck with this cat.
Yeah, when you did the initiation, when you reached out and said you were going to do this show, you gave us your time, which is valuable for a college coach. So you got 2 brothers over here that's going to rock with you.
Appreciate it.
You should have seen how excited Kev was. All that sounded like a cheerleader. All right, Coach. Coach, so give us, I know this is not, like I said, we're not ESPN, but give us a quick little breakdown of what we can do. Because, Pac-12 is popping right now in females basketball. Arizona doing big things. Stanford doing big things. That's a tough conference to play. And give us a quick little, 1-minute snapshot of what to expect out of them USC Trojans for the 2021-2022 campaign.
You know what? Getting to know our team, I really think an upbeat, fast tempo type of game from us, but also having a great balance inside. We have great post play, and continuing to include our guards and really try to create some more offense from our defense as well. I think we got an opportunity to really come in and change everybody's perception of what they thought SC was. And kind of where they're going. So, Coach 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐿𝐸, she's going to do a great job leading this program and instilling kind of what she's learned from that NBA, her time in the NBA, and just her time in general as a head coach in the women's game. So she's already started to input some things that are just going to help speed the game up for our girls. And also, at the end of the day, what it's all about is having fun. So making the game fun for them again.
All right, so Coach Grant, where can people find you on social media?
You know what? You can find me at Coach D __ at USC.
And do you have any shout outs?
Shout out to my husband. He's been great. My biggest cheerleader. Shout out to my best friend. She's still doing her thing, hooping over in Rwanda right now. And then shout out to our current team, SC Women's Basketball. Just excited to be back in California and get this thing rolling.
Coach Danyelle Grant, You Got Next. We want to thank you for coming by the show. You are phenomenal. And like Kev just said, I want to reiterate, we 10 toes down for USC now. Might have to have me a little t-shirt or something in the back to let them know that I'm representing, you know what I mean? The Louisiana one is going to take my talents to South California. But listen, if y'all are rocking with us for the first time, thank y'all so much for checking out the show. Leave some comments. Kevin and I are maniacal about engaging with the fans. We want to hear what you got to say about the show. Whether y'all think Kev set me up for the okie doke on the last question of you got of championship rounds, or whether you think he won it fair and square. Also, I think Coach Grant might have had the best top 5 ever. I know it's debatable, but her top 5 was solid. And just the story. Well wishes, you know. She's just doing big things. So follow us at sportslifetalk.com. Follow us at Sports Life Talk on YouTube and Facebook. We do stream from those platforms every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. It is a fan-friendly show. We interact and we engage with the fans. So listen, we all about you. That's what we do. We all about you and telling these great stories. So your support is definitely much appreciated. Kev, the new leader in the clubhouse. What you want to say, man? I'll let you close out the show, bro.
B. Jones, that's 3 Pac-12 schools we've had coaches on, correct? We've had
San Diego State. Danyelle Grant, is San Diego State in your conference as well?
No, they're Mountain West.
Mountain West. Okay.
Excuse me. 2 Pac-12 schools with Coach Grant and Coach Anderson from Stanford. So
that's right.
Shout out to the Pac-12.
Matter of fact, we coming to the USC Stanford game. That's what we're gonna do, man. Ooh. That's gonna be a perfect matchup, man. Now we just got to pick which city we want to go to. So,
well, you know, Brandon, LA.
Yeah,
right?
I know. LA all day. You know what I mean?
All day.
All right. Hey, well, listen, we love you guys. We appreciate y'all coming in and checking us out. Hey, listen, stay safe, be blessed, and please, please, please take care of one another out there. The world is becoming a crazy place. We will see y'all again on the next episode of Sports Life Talks. You got next. Yeet.